Raidsa Colon, and I am from the Ohio Hola Committee. I will be speaking to you today from my beautiful island, Puerto Rico, which I am representing today with my apron. Today we'll be talking about Arroz con Gandules. It's one of our famous dish, which is rice with green pigeon. We use it in our parties, we use it in our holidays, and now I'm gonna go over the ingredients with you. Come on over with me. We're gonna start with our first ingredient, which is our rice. I am using short grain rice. You can use long grain rice if you like. I have 3 cups of short grain rice. I also have 1 cup of green pigeon beans. I also have some seasonings that we will be using today. I have 2 teaspoons of adobo, 1 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 2 teaspoons of salt, some mixed herbs that we will be using as well, and I have 1 teaspoon of that. I also have here some chicken broth. I have about 1 tablespoon of chicken broth. I have 3 spoons of tomato paste. If you like, you can also use tomato sauce, but for me, I like tomato paste better. I also have 1 handful of ham. I also have 3 tablespoons of our famous ingredient, sofrito. I have about 2 tablespoons of garlic. I also have our flavoring of ham. And I also have our Sazon. This Sazon is very good. It has some flavor to it, but it also adds color to the rice. I will be also adding to that our other ingredient as well, which is beef flavoring. One of the other ingredients that we'll be also using is olive oil. I like to use olive oil versus vegetable oil, but you are more than welcome to use vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever oil of your choice. We also have here for the rice, the 3 cups of water. Now the olives is of choice. I would not be using it, but traditionally in Puerto Rico, we do use olives for our rice. I just choose not to use it. So now that we went over the ingredients, come on over, vente. Let's start our arroz con gandules. So what we're gonna do, obviously, we're gonna turn on the stove. I usually put it on a medium heat just to start off with. We're gonna go ahead and proceed and put some olive oil in our pot. Now I eyeball this, you don't really have to. I believe there's I say like 4 tablespoons of olive oil. As soon as I do that, I kinda let the oil warm up for a little bit here. So let's go ahead and allow the oil to heat up. Now that my olive oil has warmed up for 30 seconds to a minute, is what I usually let it warm up, I'm gonna go ahead and proceed and put the sofrito to it. As you can see, it's already seasoning. I'm gonna start as well implementing the other ingredients that goes with the sofrito. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in our garlic. I'm gonna go ahead as well and throw in our chicken broth. And as I'm putting all this together, I'm mixing it in so that all those flavors can be in. I'm also gonna go ahead and put in our tomato paste. Now with the tomato paste, because it's a lot more thicker, you have to keep stirring it in with the other ingredients. It's not as easy as the tomato sauce, but we're gonna go ahead and just keep going with the tomato paste and just keep stirring it in until it's all stirred in. I'm gonna go ahead and proceed and put my ham. I am going to put my seasoning to it. Okay, and then while I'm putting my seasoning, I'm also gonna put the coloring for the rice. Let me go ahead and proceed and do that. So there's a lot of flavors to this. This is, like I said, one of our famous dishes. I just love it so much. Now I'm just gonna do this as eyeball it a little bit for this beef flavoring. And then I'm going to put our famous beans, green pigeons. And I'm gonna stir that in. As I'm stirring this in, keep in mind that I'm also going to let it boil for a little bit so that all of the flavors can be implemented into our green pigeon. And then from that point, we'll come back and we'll put the rest of the ingredients, which will be the rice. We are now gonna go ahead and put in the rice that the green pigeon beans has been cooking with all the flavoring. I'm gonna go ahead and stir up this rice with all the other flavoring. This is already making me hungry, by the way. I'm also going to put in the 3 cups of water. Let's go ahead and stir that water in with the rest of the flavoring and the rice. So what we usually do is we let this cook for about a good 10 minutes. The total cooking to this is about 25, maybe 20 minutes. But we're gonna go ahead and let this simmer for like about 10 minutes. We'll be coming back to stir the rice so that it can go on its process of cooking. Before we let this cook for 20 to 25 minutes, we wanna make sure to check for the salt. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and check for the flavoring. It needs a little bit of salt, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of salt. Again, I'm eyeballing this. I'm not sure, but I am going to retaste the rice. Let me taste it again to make sure. That's perfect. We're gonna go ahead, since we've made sure that the flavoring is good on salt, we're gonna go ahead and put the lid and let it cook for 10 minutes because I need to stir up the rice, and then this rice will be done within 20 to 25 minutes. So now that the 10 minutes has passed, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the lid from the pot, and we are going to stir the rice. For safety purposes, right? I'm gonna go ahead and put on my little gloves so that I don't get burned, and I'm gonna start stirring it up. So as you can see, the liquid is still there. We're gonna continue stirring this up. Now, I usually bring it to the middle part of the pot so that the rice can start cooking. So now that I have stirred up the rice, I'm gonna go ahead and put back the lid so that it can continue to cook, finish cooking, and we'll be right back. Now that our arroz gandules are done, now is the tasting part. Arroz con gandules. From my casa a tu casa. Thank you.